Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Day wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and he wants to snip at you with them.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Okay, first game was Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan won 30-27, but Nebraska kind of scored on the last minute or two to make it look like a one-score game. This was like roughly a 10-point win for Michigan on the road. I have so much to say about this Nebraska team right now, but I will hand it to you, Josh, because you have lived in the state of Nebraska.
I can't even claim suffering that they've experienced in this modern era. It's really disappointing because they scored a Hail Mary to close out a half. Like, that's one of the biggest momentum swings you could have. But they truly let this one get away from them because that's just who they are. And that feels so demoralizing to say because they've made so much progress. And they won that first game against Cincinnati. That's the type of game previous Nebraska teams lose. And then you have that first two drives. That's exactly where it went wrong. You drive down, you go for it on fourth down in the sixth in a game that you know is bigger for you than it is for Michigan. And I don't want to go into was that the right or wrong decision. It's the first drive of the game. Like, you are moving the ball, you know you want to score, you want to start Michigan at back inside the 10, and you go for it and you don't get it. Then you drive down a second time and you miss a kick. Like, that was 6 points left off in what ends up being a 3-point game. It's haunting you. It's haunting you, especially going into the second half tied at 17. If you tell me Nebraska goes about even on the turnover battle, if you don't count turnover on down and missed kicks, and scores 27 points against Michigan, I think they win this game. But it's Nebraska.
Before you go, John, just one thing. Yes, they went for it on fourth down, and they didn't get it on that first drive, but they got the Hail Mary. So they definitely got that touchdown on the board. Like, the Hail Mary is complete luck, right? So I feel like they left 3 points on the board. But John, did you catch this?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that if you take away the garbage time touchdown, we go down to, basically a 10-point margin, which, it still is a touchdown that was scored in the game. So I'll give that to them. But the Hail Mary, it's such a low percentage play that it's like, and it kind of got there because of some mismanagement from Biff. The first time that Michigan having an interim has really shown its ugly head for them. Just a slight mismanagement. Just the fact that they were even able to run that play with 0-0 on the clock, so there's just no consequences. But yeah, I mean, this could have been 13-30. Could have been, but wasn't. So good job, Nebraska. You lost by less than you could have.
Okay, before I start on Nebraska, I'm going to start with the winning team, which was Michigan. Okay? So I'm going to start with this. If you look at the stat line, you would think that Dylan Raiola played a better football game than Bryce Underwood. And that is not true. Okay? I'm not going to say that Michigan has a good offense, but it's a better offense. Like, I see it. They can really block the run. I mean, they ran the ball very well, and Underwood can run the ball. And I was very impressed with their line play because I don't think Nebraska's defensive line is bad by any stretch of the imagination. At worst, I would say they're an average Big Ten line, and Michigan dominated them and ran the ball. They can't throw the ball that well, but this gave me a lot more confidence in Michigan because Michigan to me was ranked going in because they're Michigan, and I didn't know, especially after the Oklahoma game. But I just want to say, like, I see it now. I understand this team will be better than last year. So I just want to say that.
Get Bryce Underwood some receivers, man. Like, yeah, some inaccuracy problems, but it's gonna be really fun to say this. Like, I'll give myself until like week 6 that I'm just gonna keep saying this guy's a true freshman playing in the Big Ten. I mean, we'll get to the point where he has enough experience. I don't think that we can say that anymore. Like, Uh, that'll be later in the year. But he's a true freshman. Come on, get this guy some horses outside and see what can happen.
I think one of the
I
things.
think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
One of the things that you see really take a toll on an offensive unit, especially the run blocking, is when there's an offense that can't pass and everyone knows it. Iowa had this problem bad in the Cade McNamara years where it was just like Caleb Johnson is a stud. You need to hand him the ball, and every time you don't, the defense size like a breath of release or whatever. Like, it's really important that when they spread out 5 wide or whatever, that Bryce Underwood still has a middle open field to scramble into. It's really important that on 3rd and 9, you can call a screen on in the 4th quarter, and a defense won't see it coming. They are setting themselves up to be better offensively, and I think we talked about this. It's the bones of a productive-ish passing attack. They should be running the ball. When you have Justice Haynes, you should be running the ball. How many touchdowns of over 50 yards does he have in this season already? It's too damn many. To feel we need to put the game in Bryce's hands necessarily. So they're playing how they have to play, but they do it. They set it up for themselves well enough that they can get away with it.
Yeah, that's the whole advantage of their offense is that they can actually run the ball. If they even had an average offensive running game, I think this offense would put up 4 points a game. And that would be by the defense with 2 safeties. So yeah, Michigan has got it. I don't think they should be worried. I haven't looked at their Big Ten schedule, but they're top 3rd of the Big Ten from what I see, just on their line play alone on both sides of scrimmage. But that being said, all right, this is my Nebraska rant, okay? Because I was trying to think of why this game bothered me so much, and I just want someone to tell Dylan Raiola, stop being a fuckboy. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, Nebraska, you just have too much fuckboy in your offense, as an entire thing. And what does too much fuckboy mean? All right, this is what too much fuckboy means. It means you call a play and you pump fake to the right, and then he rolls back and he pump fakes to the left, and then it's an underneath tunnel screen shovel pass, and he's doing all these little fucking sidearm bullshit things. That is too much fuckboy in your offense. You know that 4th down in the first drive of the game where you went for it and didn't get it? That was a fuckboy play. You did a cute little shovel pass fuckboy play, and that's why you didn't get it. Stop. Just stop. That's what I want to say. I just want someone to grab him by the shoulders and say, you don't always have to be a fuckboy. Sometimes you can step into a throw. He's doing off his back foot sidearm shit. He doesn't even have pressure in the pocket. Patrick Mahomes doesn't even do that. Just step into one throw every once in a while and hit a guy, when you're supposed to. It's just, God, he drives me crazy. As long as he's their quarterback, it's just going to be highlight reels and bullshit. That's just what it's going to be for Nebraska. And that'll be the difference in my opinion.
Does that just make him above average college quarterback though? Where that highlight potential is there, but it is also holding onto the ball too long. Maybe the offense is a little too intricate to do things simply and well. I don't know, it wasn't his idea to do the shovel pass. That was the design play. But I see what you're saying. Not every play is a double pump fake tight end leak up the middle of the field. But it does seem like that's where his footwork's at sometimes. But I don't know how much of that is just Michigan's D-line.
No, it's a good defensive line. That's why you don't play like a fuckboy against them. That's my point.
It felt like every time I looked over to this game, I was seeing Dylan Raiola like flipping the ball around trying to like get out of a sack or something, and it's like, yeah, dude, you didn't really super get hurt by this in this game, but like you can't be doing that every time.
It's just, what are they coaching this guy on? Like, what? He's the exact same as he was last year. Like, I don't see any footwork improvement. I don't see any like mastery of the offense. They're basically just throwing like bullshit screens all over the place. Like, honestly, this guy would. I'm just thinking, like, man, he should just be on Texas. Like, Sark would love this guy. Like, this is exactly the type of, thing. I mean, he is creative. That is valuable, but, you need to rein it in sometimes. I was more accepting of this when he was a freshman, but I'm not accepting of this. Dude, you were at home. Nebraska's fans were awesome. They wanted this so badly. This Michigan team is beatable. And you're out there taking sacks because you just won't give up on plays. Like, just... I'm irrationally upset for someone who did not have a dog in this fight, but it just annoys me that there's a coaching staff giving this kid nothing in terms of direction.
Well, I think one of the big things is that they're an offense that can't run the ball. I mean, you look at like their totals and they're not great because Raiola's holding onto the ball too long and had minus 49 at the end of it. But they were a bad rushing attack, even adding those 49 yards. So I feel like they're in third and long far too often to even like have a run game to test. So I don't know. Maybe this was an uphill battle. They were not the favorite in this team. This was a trap game for Michigan, but it was still a hard one for them to get. Like the better team won, I feel like saying like confidently. But this one was gettable. And I think the time for like moral victories for them has passed. I think getting them back to like bowl team good has been a remarkable job, but it's what Matt Rule's like, I don't even know how many like ranked loss in a row, which seems impossible for as long as he's been coaching.
For Nebraska, it goes beyond Rule. It is 28 straight ranked games they've lost. And that is good for the second longest active streak in college football. Who do you think's number one in most ranked losses in a row?
Oh, God. Who would it be? Can you give us a conference?
It's the Big Ten, and it's exactly who you think it is.
It's not Indiana or something.
No,
They must have just broken it.
it's Rutgers. Come on.
Well.
So
Okay,
that's not the
Rutgers.
converse. That Rutgers is not the team you want to be compared to if you're Nebraska, dude. That's a brutal stat. You're, like you said, I think Rule's been there long enough, and you've gotten it. You've started the turnaround. You're getting there, but like Nebraska fans aren't. It's really funny because I know my personal fan base does this shit all the time, but like Nebraska's not going to be happy about this. You can't keep losing to ranked teams. Like, you can't even just go out there and beat a number 25 one time, man. Like,
Yeah.
and this is it's kind of similar to like 2 or 3 years ago when Nebraska was like 1-8 in one score games or something. Like, man, it's just kind of the same shit. You lost to a ranked team by 1 score. Like, that's a kick in the dick for sure.
Yeah, it happens against Ohio State when they're ranked top 5. Like, damn. Like, a lot of those ranked losses are Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State in the top 10. Like, this was a chance to knock off a 12, a 16 or something.
A gettable Michigan team. They were better, but they were gettable.
Yeah. But, like you said, the winning team, they earned it. One of the guys they highlighted in the broadcast was the center, Greg Crippen, who's a fucking creative player, dude. He's the center. He's so good. Just like, always, like, you look at the runs against Oklahoma, you look at the long runs in this one, it's Greg Crippen getting not one, but 2 guys getting to the second level. And he's a grad senior, so he's been there for a while. And having like a really good rushing attack and a smart, athletic, agile center, I don't know. Name Crippen. I love it. I love it. and the Chargers need a guy, and I know Jim Harbaugh knows his mom, so he's on my draft board. Is all I'll say.
Dude, he's fast. He can move. I mean, that's his biggest asset. I mean, on their key runs, you see him help a block between his left guard and his left tackle, shove, leverage back into the linebacker, knock him out of the way. I mean, he's got great legs for someone his size. I mean, it's incredible.
Always
I don't
doing
know.
something.
I don't know if he's NFL. It's impossible to tell for me when it comes to line play, but Michigan's gonna be able to run the ball this year easily. Was there anything else on that game? All right. Next game was Auburn at Oklahoma. Oklahoma won 24-17. And John, you wanna talk about some of the touchdowns in this game?
Yeah, I'd
Go
love to.
crazy.
Okay, so the first thing I need to say about this game, because I'm gonna heavily bitch about the refs. The team that lost played worse. Like, Auburn did not play a good football game here. Deserved to lose. The 9 sacks is absurd to allow. Now, a good amount of those were coverage sacks that, like, the line gave good protection, and Jackson Arnold just didn't make a decision to exit the pocket and, like, try to run with it or throw it away when the play wasn't going to be there. But yeah, it really hard to win when you allow 9 sacks. Couldn't really get anything going on the run in the run game. Had a couple explosive passes, but even then Arnold wasn't playing great. He was like airmailing screens and, you know, putting balls like where the receiver has to make a play to catch them. Now, so with all that said, Auburn did deserve to lose this game the way it went down. However, Birmingham is on the same bullshit, dude. When Alabama isn't playing, so they don't have all their attention over to helping them win, they're gonna make every call they can to hurt Auburn. And now that's, if we're talking just penalties on the field, Oklahoma received the bad end of some really bad calls as well. Like, this is one of the worst overall officiated games I've seen in a while. Like Pac-12 ref meme era type shit. But it started early, first drive for Oklahoma. How are you going to tell me that when the receiver catches a ball, bobbled it a little bit, and then got his hands on it, tucked it, and turned upfield, and then gets it punched out? How are you going to overturn that? That's a scoop and score on Oklahoma's first offensive drive that should have been 7 for Auburn, became 3 for Oklahoma. Just immediate 10-point swing. The fucking bullshit high school ass fake substitution play that is a penalty, that the miss was so bad that the SEC had to put out a statement that, like, we're gonna look into how this happened. It's like, we all know how it happened.
Everyone watched it live.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's like, oh, this is exactly what we were talking about in SEC media days. This exact shit. Fucking Kyle Shanahan and Johnny Manziel tried this shit, and it got called back 11 years ago.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Can I, sorry, not to, you should get, like, suspended for even trying that. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, like, this is such a clear violation.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I didn't see it, like, live when it was happening, but when the play happened, I was like, holy shit, that guy's wide open. And then they replay it, and it's like, I mean, even Greg McElroy on the call was like, this is total horseshit. Like, this is Bush League as hell. That should have been called. That should not have happened. And that was, I believe it was on, like, 2nd and 22. Should have been a 15-yard unsportsmanlike. So it's like, you're in 3rd and 37 out of field goal range. Like, yeah, you still have a drive going at that point, but, like, that's 7 points. That's not, like, necessarily was going to be a 7-point drive. Like, that's more. I would say that's more egregious than the replay review overturn shit, because it's like that was the wrong call. They got it wrong, but like whatever. It's
I'm sure by letter of the law you could make some bullshit technical argument about the scoop and score, but the sub is just like insane.
absurd, dude.
Yeah.
And then I felt like a Saints fan, which feels disgusting to say. Towards the end of the game, the double pass wide receiver throws one of the most lame duck deep balls you'll ever see, and Cam Coleman fucking does his best, high points it, gets up there, and just gets decked in midair before the ball's there.
I've had the time of my life, and he's holding him in midair.
Yeah. And there's so many really funny still shots that I can try and put these in the edit that you can flash them up right now, of the ref just looking the total opposite direction, not even looking at the ball or the play happening next to him, like just. And I don't know if the back judge has to be the one who calls PI, but like I know that he wasn't looking at the play. And it was so egregious. How is like the umpire not like, holy shit, that's obvious? Like, but yeah, really badly officiated game. But even with all that, Auburn played pretty badly. Again, 9 sacks. They called it 10 during the game, but one of them was a design QB power play that got just blown up in the backfield. So they called it a sack in the game, but they took it off the board afterwards. Yeah, just a bad game. However, played toe-to-toe with Oklahoma. I'm like we talked about with Nebraska. I'm not here to take moral victories with Auburn, dude. At some point, Hugh Freeze has to win a game that he's not supposed to win. This easily could have been one of them. And once again, just losing.
Of the 9 sacks, though, okay, Auburn's offensive line obviously didn't play well, right? Like, clearly. But of the 9 sacks, how many of them would you put at the feet of Arnold? Because when I'm watching, he's holding the ball so long. It's insane. His average, like, drop back time must have been, like, 4 seconds. Like,
yep.
I think he had time, man.
He had time to make plays. There was like a minor kerfuffle in fall camp when Hugh is there's a practice clip of like Arnold doing a drill, and Hugh like throws his visor on the ground and starts yelling at him, and the reasoning we were given for that is that Arnold was taking too long in the drill to like throw the ball. And I don't know, we saw it a lot this game, man. He's not processing quickly, and you're gonna need to do that.
He just scramble and throw it away at worst.
Throw it away. Like, just read 1, 2, 3. All right. And Arnold's a good runner, so like you can scramble out and you don't even have to throw it away. You can try and make something, which he did run pretty well today. But like, I don't know, man. It was.
Yeah, right. I mean, no, you.
The last drive was like some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Just like 3 sacks in a row and a safety on like 4th and 35 or whatever.
Now it's like you actually do have to hold the ball and let them run 35 yards, and still, I mean, how you practice is how you play, I suppose. I'll tell you this: you don't want moral victories. Auburn is still receiving votes in the AP poll. You are you're only 4 spots behind Notre Dame, so things are looking up.
Yeah, they're competing with Notre Dame on quality losses, so.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know, if Oklahoma truly is the number 17 in the country like they are currently ranked, then losing by essentially 5 points, not counting the safety at the end, a ref assisted 5 points.
Don't do the math. Don't do the math. It'll just make you mad.
It's not that bad, but
true.
Yeah, no, this is supposed to be a step up year, and for Auburn, and you just made it harder on yourself by not winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, they are better. I mean, they definitely are better. I don't know though. I kind of think that like what two of Cam Coleman had what 3 receptions? Two of them were like complete like we are at our own 5 yard line and like completely flipping the field type plays. Like Cam Coleman did a lot of carrying in this game in terms of getting them back in. And
Yeah.
I was flipping this game. This was like, I was A B screening 2 games. So whenever I'd flip to this, it's just like every single time I'd look at Auburn or Oklahoma, it's like 1st and 20. Like both teams are always behind the sticks, and it's like, well, Oklahoma has like a better passing game on average, on average each play. I think the passing yards were honestly pretty similar, but the margin was pretty thin. Mateer didn't play amazing. Like he has a lot of fuckboy in him too. Like in that he can't play on schedule. Like he's almost only good off schedule.
Yeah.
Like that's his problem. He's just a more matured version of like Dylan Raiola in that sense. Like he's just better at it, but he's still doing the same shit. I don't know. I don't think that Oklahoma's like overrated. But maybe not by much. They're a top 10 team to me. They to me are like the 10 number 10.
They have 2 good wins. Like, and a lot of teams do not have 2 good wins.
Yeah, and I think Auburn's gonna be okay. I said that I think they're gonna be much better this season in SEC play, and I stand by that. They could have easily won this game, barring some nonsense, but.
But at the end of the day, when there's officiating nonsense, I have to do this for Auburn because I do it for every other team that bitches about refs. You can just play better and it doesn't matter. And Auburn did not do that.
Yeah. I think that anything before we leave this game. Okay. Next game was Arizona State at Baylor. Arizona State won 27-24. Arizona State's playing a lot of fun games this year, guys. They don't know how to play a boring game so far. Baylor has been playing a lot of fun games this year too.
Well, I don't know how fun they are to remember, but for them, but
yeah,
I remember one Baylor game that was pretty cool earlier this year.
That was a quality loss.
I don't know. That felt like another Big 12 game like Mama used to make them. Like not all the scoring in the first half. It was a real defensive struggle. I mean, Baylor started both halves by fumbling like on their first possession. So it was just a lot of slop, but it was the right amount of slop that makes college football fun. And then to see like some really well executed like offensive drives in the last like 10 minutes of the game, like that's what you'd ask for in a game that starts that late. So, I mean, I feel like you're going to ask if Dave Aranda should be gone after every Baylor loss, but I don't know. It's kind of whatever. They're competitive and I don't know. They could chalk it up to being unlucky or what, but I don't know. I'm not going to make any determinations off of this game that we knew would be close and was close. So,
yeah, would it be like an oversimplification to say that the difference between the two teams is just quarterback play? Because that's what it feels like to me.
I don't know. I kind of feel like they have the same quarterback on both sides. Like Sam Leavitt doesn't have the numbers Sawyer Robertson does this season, but they are asked to do kind of different things. Leavitt has started taking advantage of his mobility more, and that was what they needed. So then Jordan Tyson, you just keep trying him, and sure enough, in the fourth quarter, he shows up huge. Even on that 2-point play, that ball was in the air for forever. And they had him like motioning out. It was insane. So, I mean, Leavitt looked fine, and I think he was, he's another young quarterback that's getting literally his legs under him. But Sawyer Robertson, I'm hoping he'll scramble some more. But, when you got guys like Trigg and Cam and everybody, like, I don't know, keep throwing it, dude, and things will end up okay eventually, hopefully. Goddamn, maybe. So
they asked Sawyer Robertson to throw it a lot. He had what? 39 passing attempts this game. That's insane. For a college QB who's not like Joe Burrow, I think that is a crazy amount of throwing the ball. And you know what's funny is they were running the ball all right. So I don't know how they just end up throwing the ball so many fucking times, you know?
I mean, it's what the offense. I don't know. I think that they feel really good about Robertson and their receivers, so they're just willing to say, "Hey, this is what our offense is. We're gonna throw the ball around the yard, and hopefully we score more than 24 points."
Yeah, no, I'm just arguing like there has to be a slightly better balance, a little more ball control, and a little more balance, and like your losses could be wins. That's all I'm saying, you know.
I would bet that the plan was to have more balance, but losing the like change of pace running back in the preseason for the whole year is probably hurt that a lot.
Yes. Wait, what happened? Sorry, I should know this.
They're like RB2 tore his ACL in fall camp.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I mean, very well could be true. I feel so bad for them. it's just I feel so bad for them. And I wasn't even rooting.
They'll be all right. They'll be all right. Their issue was they left too much time for Arizona State because Trig is too good. So shit happens, dude. It'll be a long time before I feel too sorry for Baylor. You'll be all right. Hey, walk it off.
All right. Any more on that one? Okay. The next game was, it was Illinois at Indiana. Indiana won 63-10. And I will say I feel like this game was like Indiana was winning the whole time. Like that was true. But I looked away and then I looked back and it was like 42-10. And I was like, what happened? They weren't winning by that much, you know? I guess all of our bitching about Indiana not playing anybody didn't really matter, because they completely showed up and totally dominated. I feel like Indiana. Okay, I need to articulate this correctly. Indiana is better. It feels like they're a little bit better on every play. And that just adds up to a very large margin. Does that make sense? Like, I don't feel like their athletes are just so much better than Illinois, and everything is just so much better, but they're just a little bit better and consistently executing at like every single opportunity. And that's why they win. Which is a totally valid way to do it. I'm just pointing out.
They're very well coached. Like,
yes.
Very few mental mistakes, small errors. I mean, they're good on penalties. Like, it's yeah. There's very little to say about Indiana because they just did everything right in this game. Like, they called the success play every single time, and it just kept working. What I think is a more interesting conversation is what do we think about Illinois coming out of this game? Like, are they over their heads a little bit? Or is Indiana that much is Indiana a wagon this year is the question. How does that reflect on Illinois?
I just think they played one of the best teams in the country. That's what it felt like, you know? It didn't even feel like they were that bad. They just were totally outclassed. And frankly, Indiana's quarterback play has just taken such an upgrade over last season that just seems to make all the difference. I don't know about you. Yeah. What do you think, Josh?
Rourke was in Heisman conversations last year, and it was like, wow, that's, that makes sense. He's been really good. And Mendoza has been perfect damn near in 2 straight games. Making Illinois look like Indiana State is insane. And I don't know. It's tough to say that this is duplicable because you're not going to have nights where everything goes perfect like last one. Like they blocked a punt and it even bounced to the gunner's like hands perfectly. Like nothing went wrong. Like they called a tight end screen and the offensive linemen, I swear to God, I thought they were like illegally downfield. Like they were moving and it was just enough and didn't get called. And the tight end screen, of course, goes right to the house. Like nothing could go wrong for them. And I mean, my new take now is Indiana doesn't respect their opponent's feelings. So I'm very intrigued by them. But my Galaxy Brain take that I've already posted on our TikTok page. Follow us now at ClawStatePod at ClawStatePod on TikTok. But my take now is that I'm kind of like upset because we had this game circled. We were like so excited for this. And they more than showed up. And now you have a team that is so good, and I'm mad I don't get to see more of them. You know what I mean? Like, if this game was a blowout and we didn't see it coming, that's like a spectacle. But why aren't you playing Notre Dame in week 2? Why aren't you playing something cool? Like, I'm not gonna harp on them. It's a great week for the Hoosiers, but I don't know. I feel like I missed out on something. My TikTok was asking how Indiana fans feel about this because I would love to see the greatest show on turf in the Eastern time zone, dude. Like, I'm curious.
Well, it will be hard next week because they are exclusively on Peacock against Iowa.
Yeah, Ali.
Yeah, Indiana is real. I don't think Illinois was supposed to be the number 9 team in the country, but you know what? I can't be mad about that and also bitch about poll inertia. So I will accept that. That is a top 10 win for Indiana. Anything else on this one before we move?
I'm not totally out on Illinois. I mean, like you said, they ran into one of the best teams in the country, apparently. I think they're just going to have to play that same specific style of like ball control, efficient offense where the output's not that crazy, but, you know, being like dictatorial about how you control a game is a skill, and they're normally pretty good at it. This one just got out of hand. And I mean, not to go back to Indiana again, but Stephen Daly was one of those guys. He's a former Kent State Golden Flash, and I'm very happy for him. Because seeing him on a stunt coming up the middle on a quarterback that I know is good, but it was not having a fun time, is I'm happy for him. He deserved to win a few games after last season. So good for Stephen Daly. Yeah.
I think Illinois is like a top 25 team. Probably in the 20s, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's where I'll put them. But, yeah, Indiana's probably...
See you in the Acrisure Bowl, baby. Let's go.
All right, our next game was Texas Tech at Utah. Texas Tech won 34-10. And, oh, God. Okay, I have a few things to say about this. I picked Texas Tech, okay? I thought they were the better team. Utah was at home. Texas Tech... I didn't even feel played that amazing throughout this game. They were just capable offensively against a team that was just totally incapable offensively. And like that just felt like the difference basically. Because Texas Tech was getting false starts all game. It was horrible. I don't know why they kept doing the clap snap. And you're on the road. So that's a bad idea, and they just
Gus
kept
Johnson
doing it.
was getting mad about that on
was
the
a horrible
broadcast.
idea. But at the end of the day, Texas Tech can move the ball offensively. They can throw the ball well. Their defense is very buttoned up. They don't make mistakes, and I feel like Utah really relies on like basically ground and pound, and then having busted deep shot plays that, you know, go to the house. Like, I feel like that's how Utah plays. And there was just no busted coverage. And Utah doesn't have a good QB, so then that's just the game. You right?
Yeah, Dampier was assaulted in this game, and there was nowhere for him to go. And it's sad because you have a mobile quarterback that I think has been good at like buying time and extending plays, but he was throwing off his back foot a lot in this. And like you said, with those busted coverages from ground and pound the ball, you might get some play action out of that. But Texas Tech was just forcing turnovers relentlessly the entire time. And now they're the highest ranked team in the Big 12. And I believe them. Like going from from 16 to 12 doesn't seem that crazy, but they're the Big 12's version of Indiana, I feel confident saying.
It felt like this could have been like going in a play-in game for Arlington, or like maybe even a game that's going to be played again after the regular season. But after seeing how Tech dismantled Utah, I don't even think it says like that much negative about Utah. I think Tech's just really good. Their line play was excellent. We can maybe table this for a week or two, but do we need to have a Will Hammond conversation? Kid looked good. Just asking questions. But yeah, you probably go back to Baron Morton as soon as he's healthy. But
Yeah. I maybe not. I don't know. I mean, this game, dude, Texas Tech could have won by more than this. They had 14 fucking penalties. Utah had 2. Like, Utah turned the ball over 4 times. And honestly, like, Texas Tech didn't even do the best job, like, responding on those turnovers, like, taking advantage of those. Texas Tech is probably, you guys think they're the best team in the Big 12? You think they're, like, last year's Arizona State?
I thought about it, and I don't even think there's a proper comparison for them right now. Well, maybe like 23 Texas, where they're just like a really solid unit, and you'll be in some close games with them. Like that was a 13-10 game in the fourth quarter, but any schematic advantage that you might have, like having a quarterback with a slightly different play style that comes in and is unafraid and executing well, like that, like what are you going to do? Like you've been playing the Baron Morton game for the first half and you make your tweaks to adjust to that. And then another guy comes in and he just has a 93 change of direction rating who just will scramble and pull on keepers and stuff. And then all Tech's wide receivers had trouble getting separation. Like Utah defenders were like right by them every time. They just made all the catches. Like maybe it doesn't go that smoothly next time, but I don't know, man. This feels like this was the hardest game on their schedule, and they passed it with flying colors by just grinding down a team that grinds down other people. So, you know, maybe instead of a 21-point fourth quarter, they have a 6-point fourth quarter at some point. But I don't know. I think about like who's like the next highest ranked team, and it's Iowa State. And that game against Iowa, where they're hosting, and it's the third quarter. You've had some chances to pull ahead in this one, and Iowa takes control of the game, and they have the long drive, and they tie the game up, and you don't take the lead again until the last 2 minutes of the game entirely. With Texas Tech, something just goes right for them. They force a turnover in the second half. They get the ball back for their team, and they score a touchdown. I don't know. It's early. It's early. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. People were hearkening back to the Oklahoma State-Utah game last year where it's like, whoa, this was a statement. But this time, I think it's a statement. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Trust me. So.
Yeah, Texas Tech has a couple losable games on this schedule, but they're the better team in those games. They have Kansas, they have Arizona State. They could get caught in those games specifically, but we should see them in Arlington. I think that's a fair way to say it. Anything else before we move on to shout-outs? Great. So Tulsa's the second best team in Oklahoma.
2 words, rain. Second word, Kane. Tulsa wins in Stillwater for the first time since 1951.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
So did Martin Luther King.
We're not talking about Colorado's quarterback right now, dude.
Man, I don't know. Sometimes it feels really good to be tapped into like these new little niche places that like I wasn't thinking about Tulsa at all. And like before my brother literally committed to play basketball there, I would not have been tapped in. I would have been like, oh, damn, another terrible Big 12 loss. The bottom is really falling out for Oklahoma State. I don't give a fuck. Fly them flags, baby!
Is Oklahoma State as bad as like UCLA? Like, is this not even the hardest game on Tulsa's schedule?
That's
Like, that's what I'm wondering.
man, that's brutal for that to be the conversation.
Because I want to say this was an upset, but like, was it? Yeah, I mean, it was, but like, I feel like Tulsa was just better.
They were wire to wire. It was a touchdown lead. They didn't even like, they were playing with their food for a while. Like it was, yeah, they're just not good. Oklahoma State's bad. It's just time for things to end there.
Yeah, it's super over for Gundy. I don't know when they're gonna pull the plug. We were talking about it a little bit last night. It feels like you let him coach it out, and then he either retires or resigns at the end of the year. But like we all know, it's a hey man, you need to do this or we're firing you type thing. But like it's over there, right?
He's done, and it's worse too because I feel like why they're failing is a reason that they can't even like, do the thing that they did with Nick Saban, where he's like some president of some operations. They keep him on the staff to have his voice or something. It's like, well, he can't really contribute because he hates everything that the college football has become. He might be right for that, to feel that way, but we can't keep him around. That's why I'm like, I don't even know if they're not going to fire him in the middle of the season, I guess, but it's over. They probably told him last night, this is your last season, dude.
Can't even win the state. That's sad.
No.
But
yeah.
Trey Lamb, when he was brought on one of his like introductory press conferences, he said, we have the investment here. We have the largest in-state like alumni base, which is crazy for how small the Tulsa student body is. But he said that we have the resources to compete with the Oklahoma States and the Kansas States of the world. And goddamn, yeah, specifically. I mean, talk about a guy that knows his role, dude. So kudos to them. I'm excited for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, I mean, especially because Trey Lamb is like, he's there, right? Like he's not leaving for anything.
Yeah, he just got there. And now they got a new young quarterback, Baylor Hayes, who they're I don't know how ahead of themselves people are getting. I'll check the Golden Hurricane Discord and see what they're saying, but we'll see. A good week for the American Conference.
Next shout out was Vanderbilt is good? Question mark? I don't think it's a question mark.
I don't think it's a question mark.
They just blew the fucking doors off Georgia State, and they were ranked. They're doing something Nebraska doesn't do, which is that they beat teams that they're supposed to, and it's not a close game. They're good. They're very good. So
Better than last year. Like it's not a
Mhm.
fluke. It's not like an upset. Like this is you look at the betting lines, they're even reflecting it. Like it's not a meme. They're real.
yeah, people aren't being taken by surprise when they play them. No, I mean they're
And
not
they're
coming out
still
of
losing.
yeah. Next shout out, Arkansas lost to Memphis. So speaking of the American, Sam Pittman, and speaking of coaches that have probably overstayed their welcome, Sam Pittman is gone, right? He's gone.
It definitely feels that way, more than likely. I mean, you can't, it's a weird spot. Memphis isn't, your typically resourced G5 team, and they're better than most, but like, man, why did you schedule this game in the Liberty Bowl? Like, God, it's cool. I like it. I actually do like, as an outsider, I really like these like 2-1 home and homes where it's like, yeah, you come here twice and the big team will go to the smaller team's house once. That's cool. It's good for the G5 team's fan base. They get to have like a huge marquee home game against an SEC team. But like, if you're in the athletic department at Arkansas, you should know what you are and be like, hey, this is going to be really embarrassing if we go there and lose, which is a very real possibility.
Yeah, they're keeping Petrino on the roster. I think he will be the head coach this season at some point. So,
I mean, they didn't know they'd be in the Soar the Eagle era of the American Conference. I mean, you couldn't have seen that coming when this game was scheduled. So, we give Indiana a lot of shit, or at least I do, but they're not in this situation.
So something to note with Pittman is he has a like clause in his contract that his buyout gets cut in half if he's under 500 as a coach. This loss put him under 500 in his Arkansas tenure, 32 and 33. So
bye. Honestly, they don't even have to freak out and do it now. They're like, he's staying under 500, guys. We don't have to worry. Like, we can find another guy. We don't have to act now. Yeah, and they don't have to find a new coach because they already hired him. He's on the roster, actually, and the coaching staff. So get back with your ex, guys. Next shout out, BYU staying alive. Josh?
The most routinely overlooked team that is a little too polite to say anything about it. They just became ranked as of this afternoon. And BYU, it's just tough. They came in as one of those teams that was like lucky to be in a power conference when they started. And they had that terrible introductory year. And then last year, it was Arizona State and them. That was just like, really? This is happening? And for them, it's like, they're still in the mix, just like anyone else, with their quarterback that's a true freshman wearing number 47. And even though wide receivers are doing reverses and it is an integral part of their game plan that those wide receivers will pass, they're finding ways to win. And they did the American team road game and won it when in 3 time zones away. So I'm glad they're ranked. If they weren't, I was going to make a fuss about it, but hey, you're in over a team with some quality losses. So I won't complain too much, but they're curious. Their defense still looks good. They had a guy make 2 picks. I forgot his name, but he found the camera on the second pick. So they're an intriguing team, and I'm nervous when they come to Ames in a couple weeks. So we'll see.
It is really fucked up that they let Bear Bachmeier wear number 47. Like, that's just not right. You're a quarterback, dude. Have some respect.
They just saw his body type and said, well, that's obviously one of our H-backs. So he's like, wait, sorry. I'm not just a Wildcat guy.
Yeah, we're technically running Wildcat every play when you're out there. They have to declare to the ref. The ref has to come out and announce a number change every single time he's going to throw the ball.
Yeah. I didn't look at the schedule, but I'm very much looking forward to the Holy War this year. It should be legendary. BYU just narrowly escaped a terrible Utah team this year. And if you think they have forgotten that, you're wrong. So let me see when that is. I don't think it's rivalry league.
No, that would make too much sense. They play at Utah or versus Utah October 18th.
Ah, that's right. They play before they come to Ames. So
Yeah.
never
game
mind.
four.
I'm a little less scared.
Yeah, you can let them just beat each other up for 60 minutes and then limp into Ames.
That's the ideal scenario. Okay. South Carolina played at Missouri. Missouri won 29-20. Our shout out being that Lenore Sellers is back, and he carried the entire South Carolina offense, and they have no offensive line.
What are you talking about? I've never seen Lenore Sellers carry the entire South Carolina team. He never does that. So
It's
South
tough.
Carolina is like really not as good as they were last year, right? I mean, like obviously they're not going to finish 9-3, but like it felt like last year there was at least more players around Lenoris.
Well, they had an amazing running back who was underappreciated by the NFL. And they had, instead of just one freak edge rusher, like 4. So things dropped.
Yeah, I said this before. I was like, I don't even know why Lenore Sellers was in this game. Didn't he just get hurt? I kind of feel like that was a medical malpractice to let him play.
I mean, he was in concussion protocol all week.
Yeah, and also the staff knows that their offensive line sucks. Like, we can't send this guy. If it was, Michigan's offensive line, maybe I'll send him out there, but like, it's not. We're sending him out there behind paper soldiers.
Their season was on the line, so I get it. But it's hard to tell a guy, no, you can't go in week 4 or whatever. So it's just tough luck.
Especially when he is literally the only thing that can win them a game.
Yeah, their season's gonna suck. On the flip side, Missouri looks pretty good. They look.
Bo Prabula, Ahmad Hardy, nasty in the backfield. That is so fun. They're so quick. And Ahmad Hardy, I don't think he's ever been tackled by one man. So just a fun little guy out there.
Yeah. Okay. The negative shoutouts: Castellanos limping away from Kent State. Josh?
Yeah. Castellanos got hurt in a blowout. We'll see how he is. It was a lower body injury, so it could be nothing, but it could be season ending or limiting him in one of his best traits and sliding to first base for first downs like he does. I don't know. The most fun version of the ACC involves Florida State being competitive in it. Like the Clemson's out of the way. We'll come back to that. But having like Miami, Georgia Tech, Louisville maybe, and Florida State, like that's a fun race to the end of the season. I'm very excited for this. I'm really hoping he's not hurt too bad. Like, I don't want to do that to Florida State fans again. Not again. Not like this.
At the very least, be healthy in 2 weeks for the Miami game.
Yeah, go down swinging.
What is his injury, actually? I'm trying to look. Did they announce officially?
Not that I'm aware of.
Release
but-
injury reports?
Well, yeah, no. I
Well,
guess
sometimes they'll put out stuff like on the Sunday morning that's like, hey, that guy who left and didn't come back, here's what happened to him.
Yeah, apparently he said he's all good after an injury scare. So
Okay.
he should be able to play. I'm guessing he can play, and they're not going to be able to run the ball as well with him, which is tough, considering that's poor Gus Malzahn. Anyway, Did we want to talk about our poor guy Dabo Sweeney?
How do I say goodbye? Yesterday.
Can someone tell me what happened?
Yeah.
Can someone just explain to me what happened? What the fuck happened? They were loaded. They were in the playoff last year. They were the ACC champs. Why? I can't accept if they were the exact same team as last year, but they were they're worse. They're getting blown out at home by Syracuse.
And like the main criticism of Dabo is that he won't like modernize how he runs a football program. But he did that this offseason. They took like 5 transfers. Like they should by all rights be better than they were last year. It's so weird.
I have no idea what's wrong. On paper, everything is supposed to be, I could even accept if they were losing games and they were all close, but they're not even doing that anymore. This was a team that was down like 13-0 against fucking Troy. Like,
who is now 1-3,
right?
Yeah,
I think it was 16-3 at the half, maybe 16-0. It was crazy.
They have more lightning delays than wins this season. So like, I don't know what to do. I didn't know that Dabo Sweeney cried during the press conference. That seems like a little bit of an extreme response to losing a football game. But
not the press conference, but when he was like singing the alma mater with the players on the field, like he did not look good. And we talked about Dabo's demeanor in like shitty games against Pitt last year, and he's not that same guy right now. And I don't know, he's a goober, but he's a college football goober, and it's sad to see him like this. I say beaming.
yeah.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
How bad can this season go? Like, if we recalibrate, or do we think Clemson makes a bowl game?
That's what Dabo Sweeney said in the press conference. He said, "Look, we may suck this year. We may go 6-6 and make a bowl game." So I think that is the new goal. So who am I to say above the head coach?
He said we may suck this year.
Dude, the fact their next game is
Be
North
charitable.
Carolina. The fact that one of those two coaches is going to lose that game is hilarious. It doesn't matter which one.
Yeah, I can't look at any game on the schedule and now think they're definitely going to win outside of Boston College and Furman, because they're playing UNC, Boston College, SMU, Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina.
Well, to be fair, UNC just got rolled by UCF.
Yeah, but so did fucking Clemson just got rolled by
That's
Syracuse.
true, yeah.
That's why I'm just like, all right, well, maybe they win that game, but like, if they make a bowl game, it is by the skin of their teeth right now. I don't know what happened. I picked them to fucking win the national championship. I can't believe I did that. Oh god,
It's funnier every week, dude.
yeah.
I mean, it's cooked. I mean, you can't be on September 20th having 2 conference losses in a league that only plays 8 games. Like, they are fully removed from the Charlotte discussion, just on, not even on a like, is this team good enough to do it wavelength, because they're not. We can clearly see that. But like, mathematically, they're not going to, like, even if they went out right now, they wouldn't be one of the top 2 teams in the ACC. And that's a crazy spot for Clemson to be in. Also, I kind of enjoyed Dabo's press conference early in the week when he was like, what are we, tired of winning? You're gonna have to fire me and I'll go coach somewhere else and just keep winning and all this shit." And it's like, you can do that as a coach. It's I'm sure that's a lot of fun to go into a room and just talk about how great you are. You can't do that and then go and get rolled by Syracuse, dude. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just really bad right now. I don't know what more to say other than this could be the end for them. I think because they're loaded and they have a lot of NFL players, and like before you know it, if you can't recruit good players, Clemson does not have the NIL bag to keep up in these arms races. So that is all I will
Right.
say.
As long as you are at least funny to watch lose, you will still keep bringing in that TV revenue that asserts that you will have a larger percentage of the ACC's share. So great
That's true.
stuff. Keep it up, boys. That's why Dabo's so important to this program. If he wasn't such a goober, we would change the channel. But now I can't look away. Other news from this game: Syracuse's quarterback tore his ACL before he got out of this, and he's done for the year. Not ACL, Achilles, worse. So, you know, he was a weapon fashioned to prosper against Dabo. So I don't really. It's just not their year. It's just, when it's not your year, it's not your year. And this one isn't.
Dude, Cade Klubnik threw the ball 60 times.
Holy shit. 60 fucking times?
Yeah, 37 for 60. It's crazy. What are you doing?
Oh my god. Anyway, all right, I can't talk about this anymore. This is so painful.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just like
No, it's
I don't
good.
know what happened.
We don't need to be talking about 1 and 3 ACC teams all that much. Like, these teams suck. They're not good.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to get across. We're talking about Clemson right now today, so we won't bring them up anymore for the rest of the season. We won't need to. It's fine.
I think we're gonna make fun of them.
Yeah, you guys are getting the Florida State treatment, but yeah, that's true. That's true. But
I tried.
yeah,
I tried.
Point taken.
I tried. I tried.
All right. Last point on the shout outs is why are there only 2 ranked teams in the Big 12?
Well, there were as of last night, and now there are 4 as BYU and what the fuck, TCU have also leapt into the rankings over some teams with quality losses. We won't name them. No, it's nice. At some point during the broadcast yesterday, Texas Tech and Utah, big noon kickoff, huge game. It's still close at this point. And it said, these 2 teams are meeting right now. Neither of them have a ranked game on their schedule for the rest of the season. And it's like, how is this possible? It's only week 4. This is how. And, you got to fight for spot 20. And then when you lose, you drop to spot 29. And then, I don't know, the path for Arizona State to make it back into the ranked the realm of the rank is very hard. There's just so few spots, and I don't know, it's hard for me to argue for South Florida, and it's hard for me to argue for Memphis, and it's hard for me to argue for Arizona State when we're seeing the results. And like, I don't know, BYU made it in and TCU made it in, but Notre Dame is still here, and I get why, but it stinks. It stinks. And the best part about the sport is happening right now. And I'm not going to spend too much time being upset about, team 17 should be team 20 and whatever. But sadly, that stuff matters. And even when we do the CFP rankings later on this season, we'll have to do it all over again. So, that's all I'll say for that.
One other one other I guess negative shout out. Holy shit, Wisconsin sucks. Holy shit, their ass.
Who did they even lose to?
Maryland. Now, Maryland's got a quarterback, but they're still Maryland. Their quarterback is good. That another freshman quarterback who's playing really well. But yeah, Wisconsin sucks. It's over. Their Fickle's gone. Gotta be by the end of the year, I would think. I know that if they... Sorry, go ahead.
The student section's chanting "Fire Fickle" as they're down 20-0 at halftime. I mean, that's... Yeah.
It's over.
It's super over. You're cheese curds, dog.
Now, What would be crazy though is if they pull the plug this year, that would be the second highest buyout ever paid to Jimbo, obviously.
God, I can't believe that the
25
hire.
mil.
I can't believe the hire didn't work. I
can't
fully
either.
thought it would work, and I can't believe that he's gonna get paid such a high buyout that he's gonna go be a fucking analyst on Ohio State's roster, and win a fucking national championship probably. Like,
It's crazy that like fired for cause doesn't include like
sucking.
the cause is you're bad at your job. That's why we fired you.
Hey, well, he's about to have the best gig ever, which is a fired head coach in college football. So,
Yeah, Dan Mullen's living it up right now. He's on TV, he's talking shit, gets on Twitter, gets in a fight, says, I'm just playing. What a life.
I know we could only be so lucky. Okay, week 5 games. Some big ones, some very big ones. First game was Oregon at Penn State. I would say this is probably the biggest game of the Big Ten slate for a while. So, what did we think, Josh?
This is Penn State's first test. And if Indiana is going to be the one that teaches me the latest thing that I will just take to heart, it doesn't matter that they haven't been tested, and they'll probably win at home because Oregon has, not looked perfect going into this, but I'll just take Penn State on a mystery box sort of way. They're hosting. It's a whiteout. I'm not going to think too hard.
John?
Yeah, I'll take Penn State as well. Pretty much the same reasoning.
Wow. I was expecting you guys to pick Oregon. I mean, I'm picking Penn State, but I thought that was going to be a Zan. Because I was just like, well, I feel like I stand by that Dan Lanning is not a good coach against actual football teams, and he's a cupcake merchant. Like, he just beats some community college by 150 points and says that community college talked too much shit or something, like it deserved it.
Is the community college you're talking about Oklahoma State?
Yes. I'm just saying he really loves to blow out irrelevant teams. Yes, I'll pick Penn State. Okay.
Well, all right. I did want to say Drew Aller will be a talking point, and it will be the first time we talk about him after next week's game. I'm certain of it.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to hold you guys and myself. I'm asking you to hold me, actually, to the Penn State let the wrong quarterback leave discourse. Because there was no other way that situation happened. Bo Pribula literally left a playoff team to be at Missouri. There's nothing they could have done. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm not going to let my mind go there.
We'll keep it. We'll note it. We'll note it. Next game was Alabama at Georgia. John, did you want to pick this one?
Georgia's gonna vaporize Alabama, dude. It's
okay. Interesting. Josh,
you're going to be so pissed off that Georgia's going to fuck around in this game and make it close, but I think they will pull it out. It's just not going to be fun viewing for you.
Oh God! All right. Obviously, I should say Georgia, but I'm gonna say Alabama. Actually, I actually don't feel good after Tennessee at all. We should have already lost a game this season. I don't know, man. We're fucking cursed. Like, I'm just gonna say Alabama's gonna beat us.
Shut the hell up, dude. Ooh, we're cursed. Woe is me. We only have 2 national championships in the last 4 years. Oh, life
We're
is
in the
so
middle of a
hard.
drought.
Shut the hell.
There
Shut
are
the hell up.
3-year-olds
No,
who don't
you
know
don't.
what it's like.
Yeah, no, get out. Get off the call, dude. This is bullshit.
Okay, fine. Next game was Auburn at Texas A&M. I'm
Great
picking
timing.
this one.
We ordered this perfectly.
I'm picking this game. Auburn's gonna win because Texas A&M is not a consistent football team. Josh,
This is just a vibes pick for you.
Yep. It's a classic A&M thing. Win a big game at Notre Dame, lose at home to a team that I think they should beat. but Auburn will win.
Let's say there's 5 seconds to throw a ball. Who throws it first? Jackson Arnold or Marcel Reed? I say Marcel Reed, and I'll go with Texas A&M.
I'm gonna go with Auburn because I think that Oklahoma is a better team than A&M. Even though A&M has the big win over Notre Dame, they fucked around against the bad teams they played, and I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Auburn, dude. We got this. We're back.
You know,
Next game.
sorry, I'm gonna keep my pick the same, but I do expect this to be a good game. I don't think Texas A&M will be able to stop the run as I don't think they'll be able to stop the run, but Notre Dame weighs heavily in that decision, and Notre Dame is an exceptionally good rushing attack. So I think Auburn will fare well, but because they'll need to pass, that's where I give them the edge.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a disgusting game with tons of turnovers. It feels that way.
Slop them up, boys.
Next game, LSU at Ole Miss. I wanted to say this when we were talking about Clemson. Clemson is so bad that I think LSU might suck too. Because LSU barely beat them, and they barely beat a Florida team that threw 5 fucking interceptions. So, you know what? I picked against Ole Miss last week. I was wrong. I will pick Ole Miss. John?
I'm going to take Ole Miss too. I was going to say exactly the same thing about Clemson and Florida making us basically have to pretend that LSU is good. But yeah, give me Ole Miss. They beat better teams than LSU has.
I can't wait for the Brian Kelly conference after this one where he's like, they're an SEC team. Okay? They're fucking incredible. They're an SEC team. They're one of the best teams in the country just because they're an SEC team. Josh?
I'll give this one I'll just say LSU just to be interesting. I think they'll pull it off just because I picked so many home teams now. It feels wrong. So, I don't know, whatever. And this game's at 2:30. I thought if this was, that's what I was checking just now. If it was a night game, I'd say, oh, I don't know, but I'll give it to LSU. They played in tough environments this year. Sure.
That's fair. USC at Illinois. Josh?
This is a real gut check for Illinois now. I mean, you have to prove that you can control the game again. If you get into a track meet with USC, I just think, oh, your defense that normally you're able to hang your hat on is not there anymore. So I'll give it to them again because they're hosting and traveling time zones sucks, dude. So I'll give them that.
John?
I will take USC. Not because I think Illinois is bad or fraudulent, but I just think that USC's pretty decent this year. Jaden Mayava has been really good. They beat the shit out of a bunch of teams, but then only beat Purdue by 2 scores, which is weird. But I don't know. I feel like USC is gonna get it.
I'll go with USC as well. I feel like we kind of maybe have a bad tail. I think USC is probably better than we think because the last season has kind of left a bad taste in our mouth about how USC is, So I'll go USC, but I think the sentiment is probably worse than they are. TCU at Arizona State. John?
Give me TCU. They're good. I want it.
Okay, Josh?
How did TCU do their hand thing? Is it like this? Is it like this? I don't even know. It's gross, but I'll go with the Horned Frogs. I can't do their hand thing, and hopefully I don't have to learn it.
I'll go with TCU too. Arizona State keeps starting these games off slow. I think TCU's too buttoned up of a team to do that against and get away with it. So I'll go with TCU. And last pick of the day, Indiana at Iowa. I think I know what we're gonna pick, but so I'll start us off. I'm gonna go with Indiana, and I think it's because they have the ability to throw a forward pass. So, Josh,
I came down hard on Mark Gronowski, but I don't think he needs to be, a real pocket passer for Iowa to be a somewhat effective offense. So I think Iowa's receivers are just terrible. There was a backup guy that finally connected on one of those deep passes because Gronowski was actually throwing well. Offensively, defensively, they're still, there's some weak links in their defense that are noticeable in Lutmer and Harrell, but whatever, I think they're gonna get chewed up in this one, but it's not gonna be as bad as what just happened to Illinois. I think that's true.
John.
So, am I picking the winner or who will have the most punt yardage? Yeah, it's Indiana. It's not very complicated.
Yeah, I'll say this before we call it. I do think Josh is probably right, where it's I think Indiana will win by 28 instead of 56. So, that if that means anything, man, I think this is the year of getting out the dead wood in college football. I feel like we talked a lot on this episode about tenured coaches finally having their tenure end this season probably, and Iowa fits that theme.
You think we're on Kirk Ferentz's retirement watch?
Yeah, it's time. It's time. No more Big Ten West to hide behind. You gotta play real teams.
Ryan Day's an OG now. This is crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. I will catch you guys next week.